Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to take a 5-star Hulkbuster to rank 5, and we're going to skip all the boring level up part, jump straight to the gameplay. I think this is my 26th rank 5 5-star, and I have 3 rank 2 6 stars. So roster is looking really nice now. I have almost everything I need except Aegon and Omega Red as 5 stars, and after that I will be all set. And now let's jump to some variant gameplay. So this Doctor Strange has a ridiculous amount of power gain, as you can see already. It's improved power gain and some other power gain node. And Hulkbuster, after his buff, is his main thing is his power control on the SP2, although we couldn't reach that early enough, but now you're going to see this Doctor Strange is really annoying, and what we need to do is to have him blocking and use SP2. It's going to be unblockable, it's going to drain all this power, and it has the power lock is not as long as Magic's power lock, but it's still pretty decent. And as you can see, by the time the power lock is off, we're back to our SP2. He's blocking again, we go for another SP2, it kills him. So that's a variant level fight done in 40 something hits, I think. And we're going to move on to this Havoc. He again has the same node, improved power gain, and this will not be a really clean fight, but because Hulkbuster does have armor up, he does have power control, so he is a perfect Havoc counter. He also has class advantage, obviously. You would think that putting shocks on Havoc generally is a really bad idea, because you can see we already have so many, as you can see, a lot of the, I'm not even sure what they are called, whatever debuff, the plasma debuffs, whatever they are, he's putting them on us a lot, but basically it's just regeneration for us with the willpower, because as long as we have armor ups, which we will always have, unless it's crumbling armor, even then it's just one armor brick, right? So we should be good. So Hulkbuster in general is an amazing counter for Havocs, and again, strategy is always going to be the same. I got clipped by the SP1 there. I already said it's not a clean fight, but even if you mess up, he is one of the few tech characters that actually might benefit a lot from signature stones. That is something that is really annoying about Hulkbuster. I'm going to show that later in the video as well. So that is the reason I will never bring him into some competitive content, because the heavy attack, they sometimes whiff, which makes him unreliable. You can get countered in at that point, which will happen later in this video, but that can't be intentional, right? They should fix it probably, because this is his intentional playstyle. You want to put be aggressive, have them against the wall, have them blocking, use your SP2, and here we have the class advantage, so the fight is over. This is not a variant fight. I think we moved on to the Mutant Island fights here, and this Weapon X is actually really annoying for a lot of people. The best counter is definitely someone like Archangel or Warlock, or a lot of counters. I think Quake can also do it. I think Seaton has a video on it if you want to check that out, but here Hulkbuster can also do it. I mean, with a 565 most characters can, I guess. But here I was he was opponent was unblockable, and I didn't realize that. But anyways, so we're going to use SP2 here. It works pretty well. We're going to spam heavy attacks in the corner, build up back to SP2 before he can get to his SP1, or at the same time we just straight away go for the SP2, and when he's not blocking, it will not do the power drain, just a power lock, which is not as good. But his SP1 also has guaranteed stun, which is really nice, and you can see even damage wise, this guy is pretty good. And now he has class advantage in these fights. We're going to try him against Winter Soldier. Can you even make a YouTube video without going up against Winter Soldier for any character? That's probably the reason why Corvus was so underrated when he was initially came out. He has a ridiculously low cutoff in the featured arena, like 20 million or something, I'm not even sure. But anyway, so here it takes a while to get used to this playstyle. It is a weird playstyle, like to use your special, to wait to use your special when the opponent is blocking. It's not something that will be natural for anyone. It does require some practice, but Hulkbuster, with enough practice, again the whiff thing is what makes him unreliable, but otherwise I think he could be really solid for lance for attack as well, because he's really tanky. He has regeneration if you need it. I'm not a fan of his regeneration, to be honest. Like the Ultron regeneration kind of thing is nice because it happens on 50% and 25%, but the Iron Man's, like at that point, and I think Brian made a point, this like when Hulkbuster was still in the buff process, that in end game content, more often than not, if you get hit, you will just be dead. And that regeneration, at least at stick 20, is not that powerful, which is the reason, like I think it scales up decent with signature level, but I'm not going to put any signature level in him. I'm using all my tech signature stones in OG Vision, which is a character that I want to rank 5. But again, now we're back to Winter Soldier. Let's talk about this. So as you can see, with 5 shocks up, we are doing 10,000 medium attacks without suicide masteries, which is really solid damage. Like very few characters can hit 10k mediums without suicides and without any like additional ramp up like pre-fight abilities and stuff. And he can do it consistently, and like 43 hits in, its fight is almost 50% done. And again, we got him to block. We used SP2. We're going to use heavy attack chains, and like by the time he gets to his SP1, we have 1.5 bars of power. You can bait that or push him further. Again, we're going to wait for him to be blocking, use SP2, and it's just really fun play style. And like the numbers, the damage is really satisfying. The shock itself is not that good, but it is a unique debuff which can have uses. Like this means that he should be viable for this track as well, like use 3 heavy attacks, but shock is not that long, but you can stack it, so I guess he is a viable counter. He does have power lock as well, which is a debuff. But this is where it goes wrong. I think this is the fight. First of all, it's not a good matchup because again, Hulkbuster gets armor ups, and like they'll get nullified. You'll take damage. But here, at this point, I thought this fight would be like it would go my way. But here, like it whiffs, and we get hit, and like everything goes wrong after that. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Processing procs up, and we still die, because it doesn't really matter at that point. Although like even the regeneration would have probably got nullified by Symbiote Supreme, but like there was no chance of me surviving. It's alright in AQ where you can intentionally take blocked hits to get to 10%, but again it's not as like Ultron's regeneration is something that I really like. I don't like the character itself because of his low damage output now, but I wish Iron Man's, all of them had similar regeneration, like something where you can intentionally take block damage, go down, and then shoot all the way back up. So here, like we used SP3 because we pushed ourselves to. I don't think using SP3 is the way to go with him. SP1 could be really decent for finishing off like shorter fights and stuff, because it does have the guaranteed stun. You can like use a few heavy attacks, or like if you are doing uncollected or something, the opponent doesn't have that much health, then by all means you can use SP1s. They are also unblockable if the opponent is blocking. And again, this is also not a detailed guide. I will be making a guide on him in the future, but like the power burn damage is also pretty decent. Otherwise, like Wind Pool can't be killed with special attacks, but because of the extra energy damage that he does on the power burn, she ended up dying there. And now this side lock, like these are shorter fights, like 1 SP2s in most cases will finish them off, and we don't really need power control. But overall, I'd say Doctor Doom, Magic, these characters have much better power control. You don't have to rely on the AI blocking, and if it's like really aggressive for some reason. Like Hulkbuster is great for questing, but he is not a character that I would use exclusively for power control, because then I would probably go with Doctor Doom or Magic or someone like that. Even like OG Vision, I feel, is much more reliable in power control because he doesn't drain power unless the opponent is blocking, and the power lock is fine, but the duration is pretty short. So yeah, that's the reason. But otherwise, like, his damage output is really solid after his buff. It is a really good buff. I think he is worth rank 5 if you like. I did take him to rank 5, so like, of course I think he's worth it. But that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel for more content and stay safe. Bye bye.